Let me turn now to the automobile industry, a topic we return to often because so much of the last century of American history has been shaped around the private automobile. Let's begin this way. The private car is the largest single cause of air pollution in our society. What comes out of the tailpipe of that car is what pollutes our air more than anything else. The automobile is the largest killer of Americans in car accidents, way more deadly than wars or any other cause. And I won't even go into the injuries that it caused. And I won't even go into the use of fossil fuel and the use of all kinds of resources to make all these cars. But it was always a most inefficient way to move people or to move produce or to move anything, the private car. It would have been much cheaper per person per mile of transport to have a really good rail system, a really good street railway system, a really good bus system. And we know exactly how more efficient it would be because most other countries in the world rely on those systems more than we do here. And that's not because Americans are peculiar. It's because the private automobile producing something that would sit in your garage or your driveway or somewhere most of the time and only be used occasionally, costing you a fortune to fuel it, to insure it, and to buy it in the first place. This was profitable for car companies, and that's why we have that system. It's even famous that the car companies used their profits early in the 40s and 50s to get rid of street railways, to hamstring politicians so they wouldn't fund the railroads the way they once had so that the railway could be a competition. No, we have the private car because it was profitable, even though it was wasteful of resources and deadly. But now that the capitalist system in the United States is in hard times, well, you may not have noticed that if you're in the top 5%, but for the rest of us, all of that has to stop. That's why we have car sharing now. We're going to call it a nice name because it's crazy to have the cars sitting in the driveway. It's much more efficient to share them. Even more efficient it would be to have public transportation. But we would have to defeat the profit-driven private car companies beyond what we have done so far to get to anything like a rational way to not waste resources in moving people and objects around our society.